Hot topics, knowledge being spread. It's like warm butter across the bread. Smooth, I know you like that. Flow with the grain and don't fight that. You want righteous love, you found the right match. With Mardy McFly, they on the right track. Yeah, gotta dig the dirt to plant the seed. Spread roots till you sprout like a tree. Doni Jones, she the one you wanna see. Doni Jones live, this is where you wanna be. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live.
Welcome to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady, hanging out with
that guy, Mardy McFly. Yeah, I'm trying to be like you, just trying to do it in like, breaking that up.
I know, we got the
yes.
rap thing. Well, actually, I wouldn't even call it rap. I was just trying to give it some
different.
flavor. There you
Right.
go. I was just trying to be different.
Happy weekend, happy day, happy everything.
It is a very happy day.
Yes.
I am.
How are you
feeling
doing?
good. I'm doing great.
You're looking good.
I feel really good.
I gotta say that you're looking good, and I want to be professional when I say this, but I can tell Doni has been doing some weight loss, or she's been doing some things. I will say them jeans look different on you today, and it's just like. Okay.
I think it's because I wore a different shirt. I don't know if the jeans,
I wasn't looking at the shirt part. I was just like, okay,
it's starting to work.
It's starting to work. Your 365 day of exercising and everything is starting to pay off. I will say that.
After 365 days,
yes,
finally.
I'm just saying.
Oh my! Well, my thing is, I'm trying to be consistent now.
I can.
Like for real consistent.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Not like consistent for 3 days and then off for 2 days and then consistent for 2 days and then off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which, if you guys have followed me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Doni Jones Live, and also check out with this guy, Mardy Ringer.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've been following me, you'll know I've had my days on and my days off and stuff like that. So now I'm trying to be very consistent so that I can have some good results.
You know what? I'm trying to be like that too, because if you follow me online, then you know that I'm online some days, and then for a month or two I'm not.
Yeah. But we're trying to clean that up too.
I'm trying to because I've been a private person, but since Doni is making me do more radio and TV and get out there more, yes, I do have to post, and I have to do that more. But that's just out of my comfort zone because I'll be.
But you're an entertainer by nature.
But my thought is, if I'm at a restaurant, I'm thinking, who cares to know that I'm at a restaurant?
Yeah.
Eating,
But if they know it's Mardy McFly, they're going to be like, hey, wait a minute, it's Mardy McFly.
I still don't think that people would be interested that I'm at a restaurant eating. I'm just saying, someone posted, hey, today's a good day. I'm blessed by this chicken. God has blessed me with some discounted chicken wings because, they're expensive now. But, I just don't think that people are.
They care, believe it or not, because when I first got on social media, I didn't understand it either. I was like, why am I going to, because my friend was like, take a picture of what you're eating this afternoon and just tell people about it. I'm like, who does that?
Yeah.
Guess what? People are interested. Or I'll be going to go look at a tree because I do own a tree service here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, Don's Tree Service. The name of my company is Don's Tree Service.
Yep.
Got to be clear on that. Like, who would be interested in that, And people are. And you're a pastor.
Right.
And you've been putting out content about St. Mark Lutheran Church.
Yes, I have. And I still keep saying, well, people be interested in that. But no, you're right. No, but I do,
They interested in TD Jakes. They need to be interested in you.
Now, I will say, because of the pandemic, and like a lot of people have said over that last year, that there's blessings in the pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
And for my church, it was a blessing because it made me actually put my church out there more.
Yeah,
and I joke about it, but I have a wonderful congregation, wonderful music ministry, and putting them out there, it did kind of push me a little bit. So I recommend this to anyone that's listening. You might be old school, because some of our church people are old school, but social media will help your ministry.
Social
media will help your message out there. And this is not even just with church, but in your business.
That's right.
Social media just, they used to say good publicity, bad publicity is good publicity. Just having it out there. Now they say the thing that you can't do is, no little kids and don't be in the bed with somebody dead.
Right.
Outside of that. Outside
Don't
of that,
know where that came from.
No, but I'm just saying outside of that, publicity is
good
beneficial.
Publicity.
Right.
That's true. It's good publicity. By the way,
yes.
how you doing?
Oh, yes. We didn't, for those that are on the radio.
Exactly.
We have to
Those that ain't,
toast.
if you're not on the radio, if you jump over to YouTube or if you catch us on any one of the stations,
actually, we're about to start a new station, a TV station coming
that's
up
right.
this month. Is it
AIB here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
So we'll be on a TV station here in Atlanta, but you can always catch us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Because we are still on DeKalb.
And then whatever station you're listening to, we're going to be partnering with them so that when you hear us on the radio and you get out the car, if you want to just jump over to Facebook and pull up the station that you're on, we're going to be doing that. I've been talking.
I didn't know about that.
We've been in communications with your wonderful station there in your local area, and so we're going to be doing some stuff.
I ain't know nothing about that.
But Marty's got to get it to them in the Dropbox on time.
Yeah, I didn't. Cause see, Martin didn't know nothing about that there. you see how things happen like that in business. I just found out a whole conversation that I wasn't a part of, and it's like when you have to do. But no, it's all good. You know, it's business.
He's gonna chew me out when we get off the.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna counsel first.
He's gonna counsel.
And then I'm gonna chew out.
That's right.
You know, but you know what, Donnie? That brings me to a question or a conversation that I wanted to have. And I know we got a little bit of time before the break, but when you have an employee, and you are adamant about them doing their job, what they're saying they're going to do, and you might have talked to them, and then the next week they don't do what they're supposed to do, and then the next week they don't do what they're supposed to do. How often do you have that real heart-to-heart conversation?
Right.
You know, and do you do that in front of their coworkers?
No.
You know, or you just do it with them? And I'll explain. So everybody know what I'm talking about, and because the people that I'm talking about don't listen to our show anyway.
Okay, good.
But no.
Yeah, tell the people what you're talking about.
Okay, so it's like I have musicians, okay?
Yeah.
And I have minister of music.
I think they do
and
listen
stuff
to
like
us on YouTube, though.
No.
Okay, keep on going. I'm trying to protect you.
I know. I'm saying, but I know them. But you know, certain situations, and I don't talk about current a lot of times anyway.
Right.
But I had a particular musician that kept coming in late.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you know, in church, you always try to give grace, and you try to, things. But it's like I talked to them like the week before, and they came in late, and then the following week they came in even later. You know. Yeah. And I was debating like, what's the best way of handling that?
Yeah.
You know, because I don't want to just say, well, you out, let me find somebody else.
Yeah.
But how do you deal with that in your business when it comes to disciplining your employees? And at the same time, and the reason why I asked the question, doing it in front of people or in private, because in my situation, this person is a leader in the music ministry.
Ooh.
You know, so everyone that's following them are looking at me like, are you going to address these issues?
I think the issue needs to be, address it privately, which it sounds like you've already done that. If it is a situation where you need to collectively let people know that this is not acceptable, when they come in, you need to say that. You know, you need to address it, but have the deep talk, behind the scenes. But you do need to let other people know this is not acceptable. So when they come in, I will address it. I'll be like, okay, dude, now we're supposed to start at 7 o'clock. It's 7:23. This is not acceptable. All of us are here. I expect you to do better. And I will say, because you're the leader, because you're the team leader, or because you're the this. And we respect you in that role, but we all have to da-da-da-da-da-da. And then behind the scenes, I'll go deep on it. But the other thing is, I realize, and you know this about me, my challenge has been a issue with punctuality. So I started looking at myself in certain areas that are soft in my company. I was like, wait a minute, I'm setting the tone for this.
You're so right about that.
I said, how can I change the tone? How can I change the culture in my company? Now, granted, I do have a strong set of guys that no matter what, they're going to be on time. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
But there's other areas that I felt like, whether it's with our software or whether it's with follow-up or something, I was like, let me step up and make sure I'm doing the best that I can be doing. And then I put stuff in writing. Simple, even if it's just, we literally put stuff in writing like, do not wear such and such. Be on time for company meetings.
Right.
If you are going to be late, you must
let somebody know. And that's another pet peeve.
Putting stuff in writing has been a big deal.
You know, I ain't gonna say very few times, but I learn a lot from you sometimes. You know, and this is one of them that just made me think about it, because even outside of business, outside of church, even in your just regular life at home, when you say, okay, things ain't working out right.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to always look at my wife like, why didn't you take the trash out, woman? Yeah. Oh, that's kind of like my responsibility too. You know, and I need to actually, you know, pick up the mantle and do. No, but I know it's.
This is why y'all got to check us out on YouTube sometimes. You can see the look on my face.
But it's honest. I'm saying even in the church or the business, when you see things lacking,
right?
Before you start pointing the finger at the other person, start looking at, okay, well, what am I lacking in that area, or am I asking them to do something that I'm not doing?
Right. Absolutely.
Am I asking them to be on time and I'm not on time?
Preach.
You know. Those are, you know, now I'm just talking about something that was minor in my music ministry, so it's nothing major. But in the overall aspect of life, I can see where you can apply that at.
Absolutely.
To say, you know what, let me address these issues in my life, and in a sense, not just be a verbal leader, but be a leader of action.
Exactly.
You know, and one that they can say, well, you know what, Doni is always here on Monday at such and such a time for the Monday meeting, and she is direct in the vision of the week or whatever. That shows, you know, but so I handle my situation.
I know you do. I think you handle it. I'm sure you handle it.
No, because I did it the opposite way. I chewed that person out so bad that they told everybody else in the music industry that they got chewed out.
Okay.
And they wanted to do better.
They wanted to do better.
So it was like
you held them accountable. In other words, you held it accountable, and I think that's a big one, holding people accountable.
Oh yeah.
You guys, we've got an exciting show for you this week, but we are going to talk about some things that's kind of been on my mind. That a little bit pertains to stuff in the media, but a lot of it pertains to culture and things that I'm passionate about. So we want you to come right back. We're going to take a quick break, and we want you to come back.
Wait, you ain't got to come back. Just don't go nowhere.
Yeah, don't go
Just
nowhere.
Stay right here.
Okay, we
the ones that leave.
We ain't gonna take a quick break. You ain't gotta go nowhere.
Not at all. Anyway, you're listening to, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones
and Mardy McFly.
And we will be right back.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
This is your girl, Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
It's not too late to file your taxes. Don't be afraid to file, even if you feel you may owe, because this may not be so. Allow TrueTax to give you a free estimated quote based on minimum information required on our app. Please download the TrueTax app from Google Play and follow the prompts and choose Killeen, Texas as your preferred location. Remember to call Sunny at 254-304-9416. TrueTax and Credit Solutions, always true to price and service. When you file with us, you will receive a free credit profile cleanup and a free one-document notary service. Thank you.
First, people got sick and I couldn't go to school. Then another police shooting. My mom and dad were upset. It seemed like they were losing hope. But then I told them, don't worry, there's still hope.
Manna Publishing presents the House of Hope Story and Coloring Activity Book. It's 44 pages of inspiration with coloring activities to calm your mind and redirect your attention. Children and adults can use this tool to relax, focus, and best of all, be inspired to find hope. Get your copy today at mannapublishing.com. Please, don't you dare go in there. Don't touch that. It's an emergency. Germs, viruses, and bacteria are everywhere. And today, it can even be deadly. Don't go in there without protection. Pro Spray, Atlanta's antimicrobial system, works. We have a 2-stage process that cleans and seals. You can open your store, church, business, and have a safe home. We have the solution. A protective covering, disinfectant, long-lasting solution, Pro Spray treatment. EPA approved, non-toxic, safe for families and pets. Contact Pro Spray Atlanta today. 833-776-7829. That's 833-PRO-SPRAY. July and August special. Office, 1,500 square feet, or home, 1,000 square feet, $349. EPA approved, non-toxic, safe for families and pets. Don't go in there until Pro Spray has treated your surfaces for your protection. Contact Pro Spray Atlanta today. 833-776-7829. That's 833-PRO-SPRAY.
Hey, welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni, this lady.
And I am that guy, Mardy McFly.
I'm trying to do it all different. I have no idea why I'm getting
I don't know, but and then you
intros.
set it up because once you do it, then I can't just be like, and I'm Mardy. I gotta do something to add to it. So Mardy McFly. But anyway, you got some things that are on your mind that you really want to talk about.
I do.
That's
I have some
passionate,
things
so
I'm passionate about.
What's really going on? What's
Okay. It's a couple things, but we'll start with two. One of my favorite things to say is love yourself enough to let go. Meaning let go of toxic relationships, let go of things that are not working in your life, let go of situations that are causing you trauma, let go of past situations that you're hanging on to that are not serving you. And in fact, if it's in the past, let it go anyway, because you can't go back and change it. But I was on Facebook, which if you're on Facebook, you already know that there's going to be some.
You don't got
some
into
little,
it. Let me guess, you don't got into it with somebody on Facebook.
So last week on the show, we talked about a gentleman comedian that had been in the news and got off on raping these women, drugging and raping women. I'm talking about Bill Cosby.
Oh, okay.
So I go online and, I basically post on there that, and by the way, the content we have on our show does not necessarily reflect the views of the station. So don't go to them. It should. There you go. So don't go after them. Come after me if you got something to say at 1-888-349-DONI, 1-888-349-DONI. So if you got something to say, call me.
And if you're really passionate, I'll give you her direct cell number.
No, you don't.
Well, all right. We'll do that later.
So anyway, I go online and I just put out there because I was so incensed by the fact that this guy got off. You obviously told me how you felt about it, and we didn't necessarily see eye to eye, but we could agree on certain things.
Yep.
So I tried that same approach on Facebook. Does not work. So this lady came on, who's a friend of mine, and she's like, Doni, I just don't understand why you just won't let stuff like this go, because she's seen me mention other things when it comes to physical abuse, sexual abuse, domestic abuse, that I go in hard about.
You go deep in.
I go hard.
And it ain't that deep.
That's the name of my next book.
Right.
But it is that deep. And this is why I want to have this conversation. There are women and men, 1 in 3 women, 1 in 5 men have been abused, sexually abused or assaulted in their life. And the reason why I am passionate about this is because it needs to stop. Now, I'm only one voice, and I can't stop it from happening everywhere. But if I can be a landing pad, even if it's just for one person to say, you know what, I'm getting out of this, not just sexual abuse, I want to talk about domestic abuse also. So whether it's physical abuse, domestic abuse, sexual abuse, whatever, we can get out of situations if we want to. Now, if you're a kid, that's a different story. If you've been raped, that's a different story. But at some point, we have to start believing the victims of these crimes. And we have to start offering opportunities for them to heal. Well, how are you going to heal if people won't even acknowledge what happened to you? Or if they invalidate what happened to you? I'm telling you right now, I'm looking into a camera, and then I'm also talking into a microphone if you're on the radio, because we're on the radio also. But I believe you. I hear you. I know your pain. As a survivor of rape, I understand. And yes, you do have to get over it. Yes, you have to move forward on your life. But you know what? The people that do these crimes have to be held accountable. And it takes people like us standing up and saying no more. It takes people like us saying, you know what? I don't care what's going on in the media. I don't care that he makes a lot of money. I don't care that, this person is a good provider. This person is a criminal and has to stop. And I'm not talking about Bill. I'm just talking about in general. And the reason why I say that is because I know family members that abused people for years. And other people in the family swept it under the rug because, Uncle such and such, he don't mean no harm. He a good guy. Just, you was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or, brother so-and-so at the church, he liked the young girls, but, we don't really know what happened. Yeah, you do. You know what happened.
But,
and so it has to stop.
Doni, that's, I agree with you, it has to stop. But it's sad because there's so many different situations that it's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting Tuesday, just doing like some research for a program that I wanted to do here, and hearing a lady's testimony about her growing up, that her father never really showed any love for her. Yeah. Mother didn't never listen to her.
Yeah.
Father was a mean alcoholic.
Yeah.
And cousin came to the house, molested her.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell daddy because he'd be mad at her. Yep. And mother wouldn't believe her.
Right.
And it's like, well, who would I tell anyway?
And that's why I'm talking about this kind of stuff, Marty, because there are people that are in situations where they can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I'll share real quickly what happened in our family. Our father sexually molested my sister, and the authorities were brought in. Now, you got to remember, this is back in the 70s. The authorities were brought in, and my dad was back then kind of a pillar in the community. He's a small businessman, made good money.
We're talking about this on radio, right? And because I'm saying, last time you had these conversations, you be getting emails real quick and everything.
Dude.
And
okay.
But
I'm not talking about this to talk about my dad. I'm talking about this so I can say I understand. The authorities got involved.
Okay.
Testimonies were taken. And my mother was put in a situation where she's got 5 kids at the time. She wound up with 6. 5 kids at the time, and she was a housewife, which back then, it's like, oh, wow, you don't have to work. Your husband owned a business. He a light-skinned, good-looking dude, whatever, whoop-de-woo. And so when the social worker came in, and this woman should be put in jail, by the way. When the social worker came in, she acknowledged what happened to my sister, but she saw my mom being a woman that was a little insecure, that didn't have a job, and was like, well, what are you going to do with these kids if, he goes to jail? Literally.
Yeah, that's a question, though.
My dad somehow got a hold to the social worker. And I guess put some doubt in her head. I don't know how that happens. But she actually said to my mom, guys do stupid stuff. Things happen in families, and you got to decide how you want to deal with this. But if I were you, I can't tell you what to do, but if I were you, I would look at the fact, he's a good man. She literally said to my mom, he's a good man. He made a mistake. He's a good man. So you now have a woman that has went to the authorities.
Right.
You have a young girl that has testified. Okay. Somehow, my dad gets a hold of us and tells us to lie to the people that are taking testimony from us.
Okay.
And don't bring up the fact that he beats us. All of that gets mixed into a big old bowl, and he gets off.
Okay.
Didn't do any time. It was written up in the paper, what he did. My dad was actually in the paper for what he did. And then when we were older and we got a copy of that paper, I don't know why my grandmother left a copy of it in the house, but we were digging through some old files.
That's history.
Yeah, digging through some old files, found the paper, asked my grandmother about it. She, didn't want to talk about it. She's like, we don't talk about those things. So we confronted my dad about it. He denied it. Now, we were there, and he denied it. And the reason why I'm saying this and going through this long story is there are survivors that have went to people and told them the truth and said what happened, and they didn't have the support. So I use this platform, I use my voice as a voice to say, you know what? I don't care if nobody else believes you, I believe you. And you may have to step outside of your family to get the support that you need. You may be have to willing be put in a situation where you may be taken out of the home if you're a kid and put into grandma's home or somebody else's home or a facility. I don't know what it is. Or as an adult, you may have never dealt with the trauma. I am telling you, if nobody believed you when you were a kid, but you know that this thing happened to you, it's time for you to get help. It's time for you to take the bull by the horns and say, I need to let this go, but I might need some help letting it go. You know? And then the next time the subject comes up at a family dinner or a family meal, don't go along with the opie dopey. Acknowledge what happened, because you never know, that person that did it to you could be doing it to somebody else. And just I'm loud about it, because I want people to know what happened, so that if somebody else is doing it, they'll feel emboldened to say, no, Uncle Johnny, you cannot touch that girl. No, Mom and Dad, that's not cool what Dad did.
So do you, even this whole segment is just Donnie, y'all know that.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry.
She's on it today. But
I didn't mean to get off on you like that.
But no,
you're an integral part of this show.
No. I'm saying this is passionate on your heart. My thing is there any healing in that?
Yeah.
Do you see anywhere that, okay, if Uncle Ricky 20 years ago messed with Sister Erica or whatever,
yeah.
Is there any healing in there, or forever you pretty much see him as the outsider, should be locked up for the rest of his life? Do you see any kind of, because I'm saying,
I think if the behavior has changed, yes. But for a lot of men that do these type of things, and there's women that abuse too. I mean, you can't let them go.
I told you about my kindergarten
I know, right?
teacher.
Yeah, your kindergarten teacher.
Still looking for that lady.
I do believe healing can happen, but we got to get to the point where we're facing the facts first.
Well, and
in most cases, not all, but in most cases, there needs to be a separation. There needs to be
I would think if there is molestation, if there's abuse, I think, separation should be definitely in the plan.
But maybe
I'm
20 years
just saying. But then also, and this is a question probably for the other side of it, is when they come to you, like you just said, this is a platform and you can call Donnie and let her know about it.
Yeah.
What do you have in place to help them move further, move on?
Yeah.
Because people come to me with all of their problems, but I don't have all the solutions.
I don't have all the solutions either, but I do know that
we got to take a break.
Okay, let's take a break.
Because she just took up that whole thing.
I didn't mean to.
If you are just tuning in, you're listening to Doni Jones Live with just Donnie today.
No, Marty gonna be right back when we come back.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Hey, this is your girl, Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
Hey, write this number down, 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-VAST. Have you ever thought about having a produced commercial for your next event? Your church anniversary, birthday, family reunion, or if you just need some production work done? VAST Productions can help. We're an audio video production house specializing in making your audio and video dreams come to life. Thinking about a family documentary or a church history story? Call us at 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-8278. VAST Productions has over 20 years of production experience, and we're ready to work for you. To get started, just call 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-8278.
Hey, I'm Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service and author of From Failure to Fabulous. From Failure to Fabulous is my opportunity to share with you my trials and tribulations of growing a tree service or growing a small business and making it successful by overcoming adversity, and also giving you some tidbits on what you can do on a day-to-day basis to achieve your dreams and be the best that you can be. And you can find us on Amazon. You can go to Doni Jones Live. Anywhere that books are sold, you should be able to find it.
Now, back to more Doni Jones Live with Donnie and Marty McFly.
Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live, but we're going to let Mardy talk now.
Oh. Welcome back to the show. You know, every once in a while Doni gets passionate about a subject, you know, and, you know, of course, the other week, Bill Cosby was released.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have different views on that. You know, if you didn't.
Man, you was jumping up and down, want to do a parade for the dude. I said he still needs to be in jail.
Okay, time out. We gonna throw just one of those red, yellow flags in when it's like, that's foul. That ain't what happened. That ain't nowhere near what had happened. Let's we're just gonna recount, you know, what we were saying last week in a sense.
Okay.
But, you know, because I was saying like this. I do believe Bill did it.
Yeah.
I believe that he should serve his time. You know, however, I don't think that the justice system should break the law to try to catch him. You know,
I agree.
That I don't believe in.
I agree.
You know, I don't think you need to go out of your way.
You guys record this. I agree. I just said, I'm saying it into the mic. I agree.
So, you know, but now all the other situations, I feel for the victims. You know, I think that they.
Okay.
I think that they need, you know, some kind of closure. But, you know, that whole thing in itself was sticky.
Yeah,
you know,
it
that
was.
whole kind of situation in the court case was sticky. And, you know, I just say, okay, if a man is going in court, at least let it be a fair trial.
Let it be a fair trial.
Let it be fair and let the actual facts, because what's hard for men, and I'll just, you know, in my area of just, you know, my experiences, it's always easy for a woman to say, he did this to me. Right. He did that to me.
But please keep in mind that I'm talking about real, like.
No.
Right.
Every accusation of a man doing something inappropriate is a real accusation. You might say.
No, I'm saying in your case where you were talking about what happened to you, you didn't do anything.
Yeah, but that's not like the only time that has came across my plate in my life. You know, that I was, well, I ain't gonna talk about that one on the air. But that one came close, but I didn't touch it, Miss Smith. I did not touch that.
I'm hurt.
No,
I'm
but
so hurt,
you know, it has always happened where women are, and I'm not just saying that it's this is
Marty's segment. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that it's just a gender-specific thing, but sometimes, you know, what was it, the Me Too that was out last year too?
It's still out.
That some of it was one of the news anchors that some women came out and said, well, he did that to me too, and I was so thankful that other women came out and said, no, that's not him. Right. That's not his character.
But I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you're bringing that up. Mm-hmm. Just because they didn't do it to other women didn't mean that the women that they did it to didn't happen.
See, and that's the argument now.
Okay.
See, that's the argument. You can have one person that just says, "Oh, he did this to me,"
right,
and he's guilty now.
Yes.
He can even have a slew of witnesses saying, "No, that's not his personality. That's not what he. Well, he just didn't do it to you."
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean that this person is not lying or this person is not speaking the truth. And I'm not saying that everybody is like that, but it's a hard.
Do you understand? Rapists and molesters, they know how to cover their tracks.
I understand that, but at the same time, you have people that are opportunists.
Right, but we're not talking about them.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying it's a hard line to find.
It's really not. There are men, one in three women.
So since this is Marty's segment, you can see the argument that she is already sold. Yeah. If they said he did it, he did it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, that's what it sounded like.
Well, I'm sorry, it sounds like that to you. I am saying that it is documented, hard facts, that at least 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men in this country have been abused.
I believe that, yes.
Sexually.
Yes.
Okay? Now, when you throw in domestic abuse and all other kinds of abuse, it's crazy. So what I am saying, it is now a day and time when we stop casting doubt on the victim and start casting more doubt on the people that are there's literally a guy right now, I'm sure, that's doing something inappropriate to a teenage girl. right now.
So, probably
and
so.
she's going to feel afraid to say something because she knows that she may not be believed. I'm saying, let's start believing these young women. And if this wouldn't even be a subject if we weren't in a society where men had all the power. That is shifting now to where women have a voice, and we need to start using that voice to right certain wrongs.
Right.
But I want to go back to the family. We cannot keep sweeping stuff under the rugs as a family. Let's go back to culture. We cannot be supporting people just because they write a book or they sing a song or they got a TV show or they know how to sing, act, and dance, that we think it's okay that they abuse somebody. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think society's accepted that, though.
Oh, they have. They have. Until all that stuff came out about R. Kelly, and it was really, really in people's faces.
They had been trying to catch that little fella.
But that wasn't a thing until he just went too far and more stuff started coming out. I'm saying let's stop it at the first person. Let's stop it at the second person. Let's not let it get to 10 people. And that starts with listening to these, like a lot of these abusers started doing horrible stuff when they were teenagers or when they were young men in their 20s.
And
let's cut it off then.
Sometimes and I agree with you, cut it off is wrong, okay?
I mean cut it off.
But
y'all know what I mean when I say snip.
But hear me out. Some of these kids they don't even know that they're being abused until later.
Yeah.
You know, like they see a superstar. Well, he want me to come to his house. Well, I'm gonna go to his house. You know, the next week, well, you gonna come back? Yeah, I'm gonna come back.
But that's why we gotta talk about it.
But they don't even know that they are doing wrong right now.
But you gotta
think
about back in the day when parents used to send their kids.
You're thinking about back in the day.
Right.
These teenagers' parents are not the same, you know, as Big Mama and them back in the day. You know,
I see what you're
everything
saying,
that's on TV now is sex driven.
That is true. That
you
is
see,
true.
what's her name, Megan Thee Stallion? You know what she's selling,
Ooh,
or you know,
Jesus.
a lot of these other ones that's on TV. You
That's
know what
a
they're
whole
kind of selling.
nother.
But if I want to be a celebrity, then I'm gonna go and hang around these celebrities, and this is what they always talk about and do. So now I'm caught up in a lifestyle. That what I'm gonna go tell my mom
But even
about.
that lifestyle, even going back to what you're saying, even that last lifestyle, we want to act. And tell me what you think about this. There's no such thing as it's okay to touch a woman because of what she's wearing. That's regardless. That's off limit. We don't do that.
Unless you touch with a dollar.
With that said, we are educating our young girls and young women to show up in the mall half naked. You know, butt out, breast out.
That is.
No sense of
but
self,
you know
no
funny?
Self-esteem. But they act like they got self-esteem on Instagram. They putting all this stuff out there because that's what they see us supporting in the industry.
You know what? I would say that's a small line on there too. I agree with you. Have you
been to Lenox Mall on a Friday night?
I don't go there.
I don't either anymore. I won't go there.
But that's the thing. That's not the place where I hang out at.
I don't hang out there either, but I'm saying go look.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Yes. You don't. There's a lot of things you don't do because that's not who you are.
It's not who I am.
That's not who you.
Right.
But if your mama was like that.
Oh, you're saying the teenage moms.
The teenage moms, and I'm saying if you got grandmamas that are 38,
Ooh, you better preach.
What I'm saying is this is what they see.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you go to some of these malls, in a sense, which that dates us because they don't even go to malls no more.
Yeah.
You know, but what do they have out there else to view? You know, now you do have these kids, but then you have a lot of other, and this isn't just black or white, but you have other kids that are like, no, I don't want to show my tail out like that.
Right,
I don't want to
absolutely.
show my behind.
Right.
And I'm not trying to fit into that society, but when you are surrounded by this mindset on TikTok, you see majority of the women have booty shorts on.
Oh
in a
my
sense.
gosh.
You know, on TikTok, on all of these little Instagram platforms. This is what they see. Yeah. And you're gonna say, well, this is wrong, and it is based upon who their influences are.
Who their influences are.
Right.
But this is why we have to care as a society. We have to talk about how you're socialized. We have to talk about how the human brain works, which we're going to talk about that a little bit in the next segment. So I can, I like to give out little nuggets. We got to talk about how you control, or how your subconscious mind directs your behavior. How you create behaviors that will create success in your life.
Right.
You're right. Teenage moms are not being taught that.
No.
But a lot of times, some of these teenage moms are over-sexualized because they were abused at an even younger age.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so,
like you said, what was 1 in every 4 or 1 in every 5? I don't know.
You ain't listening to me. It's 1 in 3 women.
1 in 3 women.
1 in 5 men.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I know that there is a lot of people that have been,
abused.
And it's sad that if I'm thinking about some of the conversations that I've had with people over the years, it's very few that I've talked to that wasn't abused. I'm saying, and that's being realistic with, real heart-to-heart conversation with people. It's like, it's almost hard to find people that weren't abused, or they don't express it, and tell you about it.
Absolutely.
Because some people that are the abusers,
they were abused.
No.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Some of those are the ones that's supposed to have been protecting the children anyway.
Oh.
I've heard
You're hearing
about
him preaching now.
I've heard about school counselors
that are doing that. Yeah.
That are doing that. And
That's
these are the
right.
ones that you're supposed to go
Teachers.
to. Teachers, preachers, ministers. These people are the ones that you go to get counseling.
You're going to make me cry, Marty. Because that's why I'm talking about this.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is sometimes the preachers, teachers, parents, counselors that are doing this. And until we start calling it out and calling a spade, it's going to keep happening. Now, maybe a conversation isn't going to stop it immediately.
Right.
But if we can start the conversation where we go, no more.
Or you set up systems that you don't allow these things to happen no more. Like here at my church, we're going to take a quick break. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. But, like in my church, I don't counsel women by myself. I don't like that.
You just was counseling.
See, we was on. And what did I do? I called you. I need you to get here ASAP.
You said ASAP.
Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones and me, Marty McFly. Yeah, we'll be right back.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Hey, this is your girl, Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
It's not too late to file your taxes. Don't be afraid to file, even if you feel you may owe, because this may not be so. Allow TrueTax to give you a free estimated quote based on minimum information required on our app. Please download the TrueTax app from Google Play and follow the prompts and choose Killeen, Texas as your preferred location. Remember to call Sunny at 254-304-9416. TrueTax and Credit Solutions, always true to price and service. When you file with us, you will receive a free credit profile cleanup and a free 1-document notary service. Thank you.
First, people got sick and I couldn't go to school. Then another police shooting. My mom and dad were upset. It seemed like they were losing hope. But then I told them, don't worry, there's still hope.
Manna Publishing presents the House of Hope Story and Coloring Activity Book. It's 44 pages of inspiration with coloring activities to calm your mind and redirect your attention. Children and adults can use this tool to relax, focus, and best of all, be inspired to find hope. Get your copy today at mannapublishing.com. Please, don't you dare go in there. Don't touch that. It's an emergency. Germs, viruses, and bacteria are everywhere. And today, it can even be deadly. Don't go in there without protection. Pro Spray, Atlanta's antimicrobial system works. We have a 2-stage process that cleans and seals. You can open your store, church, business, and have a safe home. We have the solution. A protective covering, disinfectant, long-lasting solution Pro Spray treatment. EPA approved, non-toxic, safe for families and pets. Contact Pro Spray Atlanta today. 833-776-7829. That's 833 Pro Spray, July and August special. Office, 1,500 square feet or home, 1,000 square feet, $349. EPA approved, non-toxic, safe for families and pets. Don't go in there until Pro Spray has treated your surfaces for your protection. Contact Pro Spray Atlanta today, 833-776-7829. That's 833-PRO-SPRAY.
Now, back to more Doni Jones Live with Doni and Mardy McFly.
Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Welcome back. You're listening to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni, the tree lady.
You know what, Donnie? Oh yeah, this is Mardy McFly. We might need to do a petition and see if we can expand this show to like 2 hours or something like that. Because it's like it goes by too fast.
I know, this went by way too fast.
Right, because you were just talking.
I know.
Sorry.
I let you talk the last segment, okay?
No, but yeah, but
but finish what you were saying.
I had a good.
Wait a minute, real quick. For those of you that are just now listening in, we were talking about the issue with abuse, sexual abuse,
yes.
In our community, and actually starting to stand up and say something about it, and not being quiet about it. And so we were on the tail end of that, where Marty was mentioning that a lot of the people that are supposed to be protecting our kids
are the ones that are actually doing the molesting and the abuse, and. That's what I was about to say earlier. Is sometimes you have to make sure you put up rules in your life, in your organization, in your church. Certain things that growing up, or actually not even growing up. This happened a couple of years ago when I was just kind of getting into ministry, and I was helping my mother with her church, and to me, I took it as a joke.
Right.
But she was like, no, because there was some girls or little kids at the church that, needed rides home or ride home and anything. And I'm like, I'll take it home.
I'll take it home.
But not thinking anything malicious about it. I'm saying they lived in a small community.
Right.
But I was like, I'll drive them down the street. It's not a big thing.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
No, not at all.
When, and Donnie was right earlier today before we started doing the show. Because today, if you don't know, of course, if you're on radio, you can't see it. But we're broadcasting. Did you just?
I'm listening
right now,
to you.
We're in a St. Martin Lutheran Church broadcasting, and as we were setting up to do the show, a lady came in today.
Yeah.
And just dealing with some life issues.
Yes.
But for me, that's one of those rules of like, hey, I'm in the church by myself. There's a female that I don't know. That even if I do know, let me find somebody else that's close by to say, let me have somebody else in the room, in the church. You ain't got to be right there in our conversation.
And I can't come. No,
right, and literally I text Donnie like, hey, I need you to come here ASAP, hurry up, and she calls me like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
It's, nothing major, but it's one of those things where you kind of try to make sure that you don't have evil entering in. Yeah. Because anything could have happened. That lady could have said, and she was a wonderful woman, and she's still around. But she could have said, well, that pastor touched me.
Right.
And I came to there
so
for
you
help.
But that also put you in a vulnerable place.
That already put me there, yeah.
It's because what if she was somebody that had an agenda? She sees you, a successful pastor, you're dressed all sharp. By the way, I want to tell you, you look really sharp today. Dressed real sharp, got your little black and white pants.
I'm trying. But it protects. I have to protect myself, protect them, and then just the illusion of evil in a sense. If someone else comes up here, one of my members that might say, well, what is Pastor and that lady doing in there by themselves? Better yet, well, where's his wife at? Yeah. And all these things that, like you said, all it takes is them to say, well, he did that. And then now I have to prove that I didn't. Right. But that's why I say in a lot of these situations, set up that protection. Yeah. If you have a young girl.
Don't trust your kids to just anybody.
Don't trust your kids with nobody just about.
Let me just rephrase that. Because most of the time the abuse is being done by somebody you know.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes. Start opening your mind and getting quiet and getting still and asking the Lord, where would they lead you to be?
Look,
also look at people's personalities. Listen to your kids.
What did you and Uncle Billy do yesterday?
Yes. Ask questions.
Why was you and Uncle Billy in the bed? Why was you and Uncle Billy playing hide and go seek with no clothes on? What was your, no.
Okay, guys.
You know,
Marty, we are on faith-based stations.
It sounds like it's crazy, but these are faith-based questions you need to ask your kids.
Okay, that's true. You know what? You're right.
And it's just
I can't believe I was getting ready to cut you off. You're absolutely right, because these are the kind of questions.
Right.
You need to, as a parent, you're a teenage parent.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you need to grow up right now and start understanding that you eventually are going to have a teenage daughter. Yep. And if something has happened to you or teenage boy, you need to understand the signs. Look at what happened to you, and let's kind of break the curse. Let's break the generational.
Even if it didn't happen to you.
Even if it didn't happen. But anyway, you can Google stuff. What are signs of, I just did it myself, surviving sexual abuse. I just put it in YouTube. Or signs to look for.
Yeah.
You know, start paying attention to your kids.
Ask the questions. I'm saying and you know what? I say things in humorous ways to bring the humor out of it, but a lot of the 90% of the things that I say are actual situations that I have come across, dealt with.
Yep.
You know, and one of them was a family had a daughter.
Yes.
Who was around 4.
Yeah.
And the family, the wife of the family, her siblings had passed, and they adopted or brought in her nephew.
Right.
The nephew turned around and started molesting the daughter. And they didn't know about it until one day the daughter was just saying, yeah, you know, where y'all going? He's always trying to make me, and for radio, bite the banana. You know, he always giving me yellow bananas or whatever, you know, and the parents was the first time sitting here like, what?
Yeah.
And they're like, how does this, when does this happen? Every time y'all leave us and you put him in charge of the house, he makes me.
Right.
And it's like, they had to make a decision then, but they wouldn't have known that until they had some kind of conversation. And it was really just the little girl saying at 4,
yes,
hey, this is how we play.
That's right.
You know, and the parents didn't act like, oh, this is wrong. What's going on? They sat there and said, okay, what else do y'all do? You know, what else do y'all do while we going? What else do we try to
I'm listening to you.
do?
Go ahead.
You know, and they, which I'm proud of that family, they went out of town that weekend. They took the daughter, and when they came back, they had all the little boy stuff packed up, and it's like, you have to go back home. You have to go somewhere. It's asking the questions, paying attention, and don't take anything for granted.
That's right.
You know, and for us as men, for all of the men that are listening here, be cautious.
Yes.
Because it's easy for somebody to ring a bell on us, you know, and say, well, I saw him shake that girl's hand inappropriately. You know, you see Cuomo now. I'm not saying him right or wrong.
Oh my gosh.
But things can always come up later like, well, he said something to me inappropriately, and now, you know, and then everybody comes out of the woodwork, me too, me too, me too. You know, not saying right or wrong, but guard yourself.
Yeah.
Guard your who you are, because even me, I don't like little kids.
Oh my God.
You know, and I'm serious. I don't like little kids, especially by myself.
Right.
You know, if some kid comes to me by myself, you know, I'm like, okay, get your parents, get somebody.
Get your parents, because you're protecting yourself.
Yeah.
But I want to,
go ahead.
You know, me, I like to focus on the victim of this and have them become a victor over this.
Yes. But
real quickly,
yes.
we got to wrap up, but I do want to put the symptoms or signs that a person is dealing with some type of sexual abuse, trauma, or whatever. And we need to talk about these things in our community. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't be afraid to call that uncle out. Don't be afraid to call that dad or grandfather out.
Yep.
If you, and especially if you're an adult, the next time you're at a family event, don't let people sweep it under the rug anymore. We've got to start talking about it. But some of the things that you can look for with kids is withdrawal from friends or their usual activities. Changes in their behavior, such as aggression, anger, hostility, hyperactivity, or changes in their school performance. Depression, anxiety, unusual fears, or a sudden loss of self-confidence, an apparent lack of supervision. Frequent absences from school, reluctance to leave school activities as if he or she doesn't want to go home, attempts at running away, rebellious or defiant behavior, self-harm or attempts at suicide. These are all signs or symptoms that you're dealing with somebody that may be dealing with those type of things at home. The other thing that I want to say is just because someone isn't exhibiting these signs or symptoms doesn't mean that it's not happening to them. And if you are an adult that's aware of this type of situation, you may not want to get involved, but I am asking you, if you have the opportunity and you can get involved as much as you can, or as much as you're comfortable with, or maybe even go a little bit past your comfort zone, because you could be saving a life.
Yes.
You could be helping to make a change in somebody's life just by you stepping up and saying no more. And then before it even gets to that point, if you got that uncle that comes over and he always wants the little girls to sit on his laps, call him out on it. Sometimes people can be cut off before something even starts.
Yeah, or better yet, don't let your little girl sit on Uncle Ray's lap.
Yeah, don't let your little girl sit on Uncle Willie's lap. Exactly.
Right,
That's
just break that. That's not nobody specific, but but break that culture. Hold yourself accountable too.
Yeah. As parents, we have to be accountable.
Oh, that's cute. No, it's not.
No,
cute.
It's not.
After a while, no, it's not cute. Don't let your little girl kiss your uncle on the lips all the time. That's not.
You better preach. You joking,
like
but you better preach.
No, don't do that. But let's hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah.
Donnie, this show has been really quick and it's been very interesting.
Very quick.
Yeah, right. I would say, what's some inspirational books we can read, but we kind of run out of time.
But I do want to go back to Brené Brown. She talks more about vulnerability. It's not so much about survivors, but she talks a lot about vulnerability, and being vulnerable is actually something you can do for yourself, meaning you got to go talk to somebody. So anything from Brené Brown. And then there is a book that I'm trying to think of.
Failure to Fabulous?
Yep, Failure to Fabulous. I do talk about it, from failure to fabulous, in my book. I don't talk specifically about being abused, but I do talk about things that you can do to overcome adversity.
Right.
The power of your subconscious mind, how you can actually kind of work on yourself to kind of start creating the life that but you can start creating the life that you want. Go ahead.
And I want to say this before we get off. If you are a person that is being abused, if you are a person that is been molested and you're trying to get out of that situation, call this number. I will call you back personally and we will find you somewhere else. We will find you some assistance. And this is any market, any place that you're at.
That's right.
Call us.
That's right. 1-888-349-DONI. Once again, that's 1-888-349-DONI. We love you.
Yep.
We want to see you happy, healthy, and whole.
Yes. And may the peace of the Lord be with you all.
Yes, that's about
You're listening to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones and Mardy McFly, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Hey, this is your girl, Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
It's not too late to file your taxes. Don't be afraid to file, even if you feel you may owe, because this may not be so. Allow TrueTax to give you a free estimated quote based on minimum information required on our app. Please download the TrueTax app from Google Play and follow the prompts and choose Killeen, Texas as your preferred location. Remember to call Sunny at 254-304-9416. TrueTax and Credit Solutions, always true to price and service. When you file with us, you will receive a free credit profile cleanup and a free one-document notary service.
First, people got sick and I couldn't go to school. Then another police shooting. My mom and dad were upset. It seemed like they were losing hope. But then I told them, don't worry, there's still hope.
Manna Publishing presents the House of Hope Story and Coloring Activity Book. It's 44 pages of inspiration with coloring activities to calm your mind and redirect your attention. Children and adults can use this tool to relax, focus, and best of all, be inspired to find hope. Get your copy today at mannapublishing.com. Please, don't you dare go in there. Don't touch that. It's an emergency. Germs, viruses, and bacteria are everywhere. And today, it can even be deadly. Don't go in there without protection. Pro Spray, Atlanta's antimicrobial system, works. We have a 2-stage process that cleans and seals. You can open your store, church, business, and have a safe home. We have the solution. A protective covering, disinfectant, long-lasting solution Pro Spray treatments. EPA approved, non-toxic, safe for families and pets. Contact Pro Spray Atlanta today. 833-776-7829. That's 833 Pro Spray. July and August special. Office 1,500 square feet or home 1,000 square feet. $349. EPA approved, non-toxic, safe for families and pets.